Hello viewers, welcome back once again. And this version of the video is in English basically, although I have made the Assamese version of the video. And because I made all my videos, I try my best so that I can make the videos in both the languages, so that none of the viewers, none of my followers get deprived from the information which I provide in social media basically. So the video is the same, but let me tell you that the same video which I have made in Assamese earlier, and this video is all the same. The title is, how much weight you can lose actually in a month. And as we know, all of that, obesity is basically the result of too much of energy intake and less of the energy is being utilized by the body. It's simple that if you ingest too much of food and you are not burning it, or you are not utilizing that food, and you will definitely start gaining weight. So as a result, you gain weight, and that is called obesity or overweight obesity. But there are certain things you should consider before weight loss or for a fat loss program, such as you need to know about your health history, your genetic issues you have, your lifestyle, your food habits, the kind of medications you are taking. If you are having some kind of thyroid issues, again it will be very difficult and hard time for you to lose weight, or insulin sensitivity, diabetes, or you might have some eating disorder, or eating late at night, indisciplined lifestyle. So these are all of the factors which we have to take into consideration before going for a fat loss program. And remember, always go for the consultation to a qualified nutritionist, and at the same time go to a qualified trainer to train so that you get the fastest results possible, and at the same time you don't have to face any of the undue side effects. And the most important thing before we start to follow a fat loss program or a weight loss program is that you really need to know about your BMR, because BMR is basically the basal metabolic rate, which is also defined as the energy required to perform the vital functions at rest. Mainly, suppose if I'm talking right now, I'm burning calories, I'm sleeping, I'm burning calories. Calories are basically being burned 24 hours a day. So BMR is basically the largest component of daily energy expenditure. Almost 60 to 70% of the energy expenditure is being utilized by the body at rest. So therefore, estimating the total contribution of BMR to the daily energy expenditure is very important, because you really need to know what is the amount of calories, or what is the amount of calories your body is basically burning when you are at rest, when you are sleeping, when you are sitting, when you are lying down on the bed. So accurate measurement of BMR is basically done through indirect calorimetry, but definitely it requires a strict laboratory preparation and special equipment, which is very costly, and it's not feasible for frequent and timely individual use because of those specialized equipment. So as a result, majority of the BMR is basically obtained for any weight loss program. We basically rely on BMR prediction or BMI equations, mathematical equations, and predictive equations, which are basically increasingly used for estimation in clinical practice also. Over the past few decades, a large body of obesity related literature has published and devoted to the development of BMR equations targeted to specific population based on body weight, height and age, where it's quite helpful in estimating the BMR. So mainly the equations, which is basically created by Harris Benedict, Mifflin, Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, World Health Organization, WHO, United Nations University, and Harris and Henry and Reeves. So these are basically the common mathematical equations which we commonly used in our clinical practice. However, there may be this equations basically overestimate the basal metabolic rate. But Mifflin equation was quite found to be most accurate among all these equations.
So according to an article published in 15th August 2015 in the Journal of Biomed Central titled Prediction of Basal Metabolic Rate in Overweight or Obese and Non-Obese Subjects, its relation to pulmonary function tests. So mainly 4 equations were identified as the most commonly used in clinical practice, such as Harris Benedict, Mifflin, Saint-George, Owen, and the World Health Organization, Food and Agriculture Organization, United Nations University. And of these equations, the Mifflin-Saint-George equation was most reliable, predicting RMR within 10%.
So as you have seen that those equations which are basically published on those scientific journals, now we're going to talk about some myths. Let's talk about BMI. I have seen that most of the nutritionists use BMI as an indicator for judging obesity and providing diet plan. But BMI is not a reliable indicator because they overestimate or underestimate the fat. BMI is basically means what? It's basically like, you know, the measurement of your body weight. Means the formula is body weight by height into whole square if you are doing it in kilograms. And if you are doing follow the imperial formula, then it will be like, you know, BMI, it will be like body weight in pounds divided by height into whole square into 703. So again, waist to hip ratio and all these things, height to weight chart, all these are basically like misnomer. Nowadays it's nobody like, you know, uses those formulas because those formulas are basically outdated. Those methods, those things are basically outdated. Yes, definitely we use BMI right now also, BMI, waist to hip ratio, weight, height and weight chart when we are going for a large population, like, you know, for a large population study or meta-analysis, then we use this formulation. But in real practice, if somebody has come to you to go for a fat loss program in gyms, in your clinic, then if you use the BMI as a useful tool, if you use the BMI or the waist to hip ratio or the height and weight chart for, you know, for body transformation purposes, then I'm really very sorry that it's not going to help you out because they basically overestimate or underestimate the, like, you know, fat percentage. I showed you all the equations or the mathematical equations, scientific equations to calculate your BMI, but I don't think so everybody is a nutritionist. But what about those people who are normal people who don't go to gyms or who want to follow a regular diet plan? So the solution to this is that, see, basically the recommended dietary allowance, it suggests us that a woman should take 2000 calories per day, and for a man it's 2500 calories per day. So I'm talking about adults basically, because everybody will not be interested, and it's the formulas, the equations are quite complicated and quite, it's not easy until and unless you are a nutrition professional or you are a nutritionist. So the thing is that like, you know, for common people, how to lose weight and how to calculate how much you need to eat, because you really need to know what is the amount of calories you need to ingest. Instead of calculating your BMI, you can go for like this. It's a very simple formula. Just listen to this. If you want to lose fat, so for example, the simple formula is like, if you want to lose fat, then for women, like, just deduct 500 calories from your daily calorie intake. For example, if a woman is being prescribed 2000 calories according to the recommended dietary allowance, then just cut down 500 calories. So in that way you will be able to lose half a kilo, means 450 grams to 500 grams of body weight in a week. So in that manner you will be able to lose 2 kilos in a month. And in case of females, in case of males, if they are being suggested 2500 calories, then you just have to deduct 500 calories from that. So in that way you can also reduce almost half kilo of fat or weight in a week. So it comes down to 2 kilos. But 500 calorie reduction is just like, you know, general rule of the thumb. You can reduce a little bit less also, 10%, 20%. You really need to see how your body reacts to that, because cutting down a huge amount of calories you might lose muscle, and muscles are very important because muscles are very basically metabolically active tissues, and if you gain 1 kilo of lean muscle mass excluding the fat, your body's metabolic rate will increase by 15 to 20. The body will be able to burn 15 to 20 calories an hour extra. So who wants to lose weight? See, basically nobody wants to lose weight, everybody wants to lose fat. So now another formula which is quite specific is that, like, you know, for example, you want to lose fat, right? So another calculation is that multiply your body weight. Suppose if your body weight is 60 kilo, you multiply your body weight by 29. So if you multiply your body weight by 29, I will just show you. It's just a calculation. So 60 into 29, it comes up to 1740 calories. So if you ingest 1740 calories irrespective of a male or a female. In everybody's case, then you have to ingest 1740 calories to lose fat. And if you want to gain weight or muscle, then multiply your body weight by 40 into 60 equal to 2400 calories. So 1740 calories, if you multiply your body weight by 29, if your body weight is, for example, is 60, then multiply your body weight by 29, it comes down to 1740 calories per day to lose fat. And if you want to gain muscle, then multiply your body weight by 60. So it comes up to 2400 calories. So in that way, you will be able to lose almost 1% of body fat. This calculation is more precise than the other calculation which I have shown you, just to minus 500 calories from your regular calorie intake. So in that way, you will be able to lose more fat precisely. And lastly, before leaving, I would like to tell you is that, see, the evidence-based science suggests that if a person lose 1% of body weight in a week, that is the most precise way. Suppose if a person is of 80 kilos, suppose if a male comes to your clinic and says he is 80 kilos, so he should be able to lose 800 grams of fat in a week. So it comes down to 3,200 grams, means 3.2 kilos. So for a male of 80 kilo, he will be able to lose 1% of body fat, the 1% of body weight of his overall or current body weight in a week. So 8 into 4 weeks means 3.2 kilos. And in case of females, if a female comes to you and asks that how much body weight I can lose, so tell her that if she is of 50 kilos, she will be able to lose 1% of her body fat, means 500 grams in a week. So that comes down to 2 kilos per month. So that's it. So after going through this information, from now onwards, nobody will be able to fool you, make fool out of you, especially the trainers who don't know about nutrition. And there are certain nutritionists also who don't know about too much of nutrition, and they, just to sell their products, just to sell their diet plans, just to sell their diet programs, exercise programs, just to increase the memberships in the gyms. They will misguide you. They will tell you that the more money you pay, the more body weight you will be able to lose. What about a person who is a disease client? What about a person who is having thyroid issues? What about a person who has very less amount of muscle mass in their body? So that's why losing weight in a very slow and consistent manner is the ultimate goal for achieving your fitness goals. At the same time, there will be no muscle loss and you'll be able to lose fat without having any side effects, because if you lose muscle, you might also suffer from low calorie diet induced rhabdomyolysis. Means your body will break down the muscle tissue and your kidney will stop functioning. So that's the reason, go for a slow and consistent weight loss. As I have told you earlier also, the dose of exercise I have already mentioned in my earlier videos, and now again I'm telling you, follow a consistent balanced diet. Your lifestyle has to be improved, your sleep has to be proper. Do not eat late at night. Eat every 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. Have 1 glass of water every hour. Do not go for any kind of fat diets, keto diets, or so-called Hawaiian diet, pineapple diet, apple diet, all those fat diets. Just avoid all those kind of diets and follow a consistent balanced diet plan under the supervision of a qualified nutritionist, and do your exercise under the supervision of a qualified trainer also. So that's it, guys. I'll keep on making such kind of videos, and the kind of videos which I make are basically in 2 versions. From this one, now I have decided that it's my duty, which I think that being a fitness educator, being a fitness professional, working in Northeast for the past 20 years, more than 20 years, I thought that it has become my responsibility. Nobody's told me, but I think that as a responsible citizen, as a responsible fitness expert and a nutritionist, it's my responsibility to reach out to all the people of Northeast especially. So that's why I am doing a lot of hard work, and please go through my videos. Please let me know if you have any suggestions. That's the reason, so that nobody is being deprived from the information which I provide in social media. That's why I made the videos every day. It takes a lot of study and a lot of hard work. It takes almost 8 to 10 hours of study every day. It's lockdown, I'm doing my best. So that's the reason, so that nobody is getting deprived from my videos, from the information I provide in my videos. That's why I made the videos in 2 languages, one in Assamese and one in English. So guys, keep watching my videos. And please give me a thumbs up if you like it, and suggestions are always welcome. And that's it, guys. And that's it, guys. Stay strong, stay fit, stay healthy, and be strong always. Bye bye.